Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I am Joey Moss with Bad Boy Gaming, and we are going to have some fun today. I'm going to teach you guys how to get a turn one win. That's right, you're going to win on turn one. I'm going to teach you the cards you're going to need and how to go about it. Also, if you enjoy turn one, turn two, turn three win kind of decks, budget deck techs, how to go infinite, I do a lot. I cover a lot of that on my channel. And you can support this channel simply for free just by subscribing. I do appreciate each and every one of you who tunes in and watches the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. That also helps out a lot. Let's get into the madness. So, you want to be the cool kid in class. You want to get that turn one win. Well, turn one wins don't come easy. Here's what you're going to need to get a turn one win in Commander. As you all know, turn one wins are very rare, very unique set of cards are required in order to get them. Very specific cards for any turn one win. Typically, you need between 5 and 7 cards for that turn one win. This one's requiring all 7 of them. So in Commander, here's what you need opening hand. You need a Breeding Pool, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Simic Signet, Retract, Concordant Crossroads, and an Ornithopter. What these cards all do, quick breakdown. As Breeding Pool enters the battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, Breeding Pool enters the battlefield tapped. Mana Crypt, 0 cost to bring out. Artifact, at the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. Tap it, add 2 colorless to your mana pool. That's the payoff. Pretty sweet. Mana Vault's a 1-drop. Mana Vault doesn't untap during your untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 4. If you do, untap Mana Vault. At the beginning of your draw step, if Mana Vault is tapped, it deals 1 damage to you. Huge payout. Add 3 colorless. Simic Signet is a deuce drop artifact. For 1, tap it. Add green and blue to your mana pool. Pretty sweet. A Retract is 1 drop. Instant. Return all artifacts you control to their owner's hand. Concordant Crossroads, 1 drop green mana. World Enchantment. All creatures have haste. That's right. All creatures have haste. Ornithopter is a 0 drop. It's a flyer. 0/2. Step 1. You're going to want to play all of these and activate them, except for activating Breeding Pool. Do not go ahead and activate Breeding Pool. Won't work out for you. You're going to need that mana later on. Then, step 2, you're going to use Retract. Retract, remember, return all artifacts you control to their owner's hand. And when you retract, replay all the artifacts, retapping them, producing the mana we're going to need. Now that our good old Commander is ready to go and has a lot of mana that we can dispose of, we are going to tap a forest in order to bring out the Crossroads. All creatures have haste. We are going to get our Commander in the command zone, Prime Speaker Vannifar. What she does is ridiculous. Sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrifice creature's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. She's a 2/4 elf ooze wizard. Ornithopter. Bring that sucker out. We're going to play these and start a chain. Are you ready for this chain? Here comes the chain gang. Let's do this. So we're going to bring out Ornithopter. And then we are going to go seeking using Prime Speaker for our Copperhorn Scout. Copperhorn Scout, whenever Copperhorn Scout attacks, untap each other creature you control. It's a 1/1. Pretty sweet. It has to enter combat and attack. We have to attack with Scout. Seeker to untap Vannifar. That's correct. We're going to use a Seeker. First, we're going to go ahead and sack our Scout. She's instantly going to untap our Speaker. Then we are going to go and use Prime Speaker Vannifar again to search for Seeker of Skybreak. Seeker of Skybreak is going to allow us to untap target creature. We're going to repeat that with the Vannifar, sacking, untapping, going over to Pestermite. What does Pestermite do? Pestermite, let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Oh, there we go. Pestermite, flash, flying. When Pestermite enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target permanent. Perfect. All these cards essentially are going to do the same thing. They're all going to untap our Prime Speaker, ramping all the way up to the point where we get around here. The Tidewater minion. Also, we're going to need this ability. This Unearth ability is amazing on Fate Stitcher. Return this card from your graveyard to play. It gains haste. Remove it from the game at end of turn, or if it would to leave play. Unearth only as a sorcery. Keep that in mind. Tidewater minion, defender, untap target permanent. We're going to use that. So we're going to keep sacking or keep sacrificing creatures using Prime, untapping Prime with the new creature that we get out, eventually getting all the way to Woodland Bellower. Woodland Bellower basically is a tutor card that lets you search for a creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less. Once we get him out, I'm not really sure. We're going to go ahead and get good old Kiora's Follower, which does what? You guessed it. It untaps another target permanent. We are going to sacrifice our Woodland Bellower for, well, of course, with Prime Speaker, untapping with our Follower, for our Protein Hawk. What's Protein Hawk again? When Protein Hawk dies, search your library for any number of creature cards with converted mana cost 6 or less, and put them onto the battlefield to shuffle your library. Don't forget, everything has haste because of Crossroads. That's how we're able to do all this. Don't forget that part. What do we do then? Well, we're going to use the remaining island that we haven't used from our breeding pool earlier to activate Fate Stitcher. Fate Stitcher again, you may tap or untap another target permanent. That's right. We are going to pay that one, untapping our Prime Speaker. Vannifar, which allows us to, that's right, sack up Mr. Protein Hawk. Just so you know, Protein Hawk, what we're fetching here, before we sack him, what we fetched from was Laboratory Maniac, Hermit Druid, and Hapless Researcher. We're going to sack, with our Vannifar, the Mr. Protein Hawk. And we're going to what? Bring out Patron of the Oraki. We're going to activate Vannifar one last time to do that. What does Patron of the Oraki do? It's a snake offering. We don't need to care about that. Untap all forests and all green creatures. Play this ability only once each turn. Activate Patron to untap our breeding pool to give us the necessary mana we need to keep this going. Now we get into the crazy stuff. How do we win this game? Laboratory Maniac, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. Oh yeah. Hermit Druid, it's a deuce drop for that 1 green forest. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand and all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. Hapless Researcher, sacrifice Hapless Researcher, draw a card, and then discard a card from your hand. Let's finish this up. How we're going to finish it up? We are going to have our Patron of the Oraki in the breeding pool, untapping it so we can get that 1 forest out, using the leftover mana. Hermit Druid comes into play. That's already on the battlefield. We are going to use the ability, reveal cards from the top of our library until we reveal a basic land card, put the card into our hand, and all other cards reveal this way into the graveyard. We are just going to mill ourselves to death. We are just milling our entire library. Once all that takes place, Mr. Hapless Researcher pops in. Sacrifice Hapless Researcher, draw a card, then discard a card from your hand. We're going to activate Researcher, and we win the game because we don't have any cards in the library. Laboratory Maniac, if you would draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game. There's the entire combo. Ridiculous. Huge shout out. Credit goes to ELEKTROPHORUS, my ninja. I did talk to him. I had a brief message with him. Said I was going to go over this turn 1 win deck. I think it's amazing. It's really, really powerful, really, really cool. When you get it out, you win the game. If you get these 7 magical cards in your hand, you win the game. And how cool is that? Has anyone ever won on turn 1 before? I'd love to hear about it. If you have a turn 1 win deck, if you have a turn 1 win con, or even turn 2 win con, I would love to hear about it as well. You can email me at mossbergswerve@gmail.com, and I will give you 100% credit for the turn 1, turn 2 win. Even some turn 3s I'd be interested in. The more budget friendly, the better. This one's probably a little more costly. Just looking at some of the card prices, breeding pools over maybe $10 right now, roughly, depending which one you get. Mana Crypt's like 120. Mana Vault's like 30, 35. This is pretty budget. Retract, I'm unsure of. Crossroads, I'm unsure of. These two are both probably cheap. Maybe Retract's a little more expensive. Ornithopter's a dime a dozen. But yeah, you need those cards and then a whole plethora of other cards in your deck. Maybe some tutor cards. I don't even know. It's a really cool deck. Let me know what you guys think about it. Make sure you hit that like button. It does help out a lot. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, by all means, please do. I'll see you next time.